The Great American Eclipse is a big deal because so many people are going to be able to see it. The path of total darkness is actually 70 miles wide as it crosses the United States. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Renee Murphy. It is estimated that 12.5 million people live in the area where you will be able to see the total eclipse. And in this area, places like Bernheim Forest are going to be holding eclipse parties. Sounds pretty fun.
It does. An afternoon party there. Most folks will try to take a picture, though. But as WHAS 11's Holden Kerwicki tells us tonight, if you're going to try to do that, you need to be prepared.
All right. I think this is going to be probably the most photographed event that I can ever remember seeing.
Michael Clevenger knows a lot about taking photographs at big events. You've seen his work for years in the Courier-Journal.
Cool, thanks.
But when it comes to a total solar eclipse,
it's hard to really get a sense of something that only happens once every 90 plus years. And because of that, we really look to Canon and to other professionals to kind of give us the guidance to help us understand the things that we didn't even know that we didn't know.
So in planning for August 21st, he started studying.
Probably the first thing I read told me that on your first eclipse, you should not even try to photograph it. You should really just take a minute and watch.
But it is his job to capture it. So he just kept studying.
The fact that we needed a filter on the front of the lens, the fact that we needed to have a different set of exposures for the totality of the eclipse versus the exposures coming up to the totality.
And he went shopping.
I just bought the material, which is a very thin sheet. It's silver on one side and black on the other. And then I just cut them to fit using off-the-shelf PVC pieces from Home Depot or Lowe's.
The camera's sensors aren't the only thing you need to worry about protecting.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm not looking up at the eclipse very much at all. And if I do, I've got a pair of nice goggles that I've got that are number 14 grade welding goggles. And this should dial down the light quite a bit. But I'm really going to resist the temptation of trying to look up at the light too much at all, unless I absolutely need to.
Michael will be watching the eclipse mostly from his laptop.
Sunspot.
Though he admits he might not watch the entire thing from the screen.
I will take a second to look up.
If you want to take a picture of the eclipse, you don't have to put in all the work he did.
I would encourage people to give it a shot, but I would say that you need to be ready for what you're going to see and how far away the image is actually going to be for you to try to capture.
The Courier-Journal will be using 600 and 800 millimeter lenses, something you probably don't have access to. So you should do like Michael did and do a test run.
If you're going to try to do this and you're not quite sure how far away you need to be, if you can make a decent photo of the moon, a full moon, then you'll have a good idea of how big that image will be in your camera.
If you don't do a test run, you still must protect your equipment.
No matter if they have an entry-level DSLR or a film camera or anything, make sure those filters are in place or you'll ruin your cameras.
Michael expects to take over 1,000 photos in just the 2 minutes and 40 seconds of totality.
I'm only looking for the one great image from that.
This day's test run did turn some pretty good pictures.
There's our cloud. Right on cue.
But there is one thing no amount of preparation can guarantee.
If I have one piece that I really can't buy, it's a blue sky day.
There you go.
And there is a lot of debate going on about whether or not you could damage your cell phone if you use your cell phone to take a picture of the eclipse. According to NASA, the cameras run on most phones are very small and don't emit enough light to damage the sensors, but they want everyone to ask why risk it. That's a good question. If you do want to take a picture of the eclipse, you should use a filter. You can use a pair of eclipse glasses. We're going to talk more about that. And just don't remove the ones you are wearing to use as a filter, because then you're putting your eyes in danger.
Could be in a matter of seconds. NASA also recommends if you really want to try to take a picture with your phone, you'll get a zoom lens attachment that will cost you between 20 to 40 bucks. Also, they say be realistic, and instead of trying to capture an image of the corona, the cornea-looking version of the eclipse, it looks like an eye when it happens, you concentrate on what the people around you are doing with the eclipsing sun in the field of view.
So much excitement around the eclipse.
Yes.
It really is a fun time for the community. And you know what?